Get in, losers, we're going shopping. Hi, and welcome to Tabletop Gaming, where we have cool things like magazines and websites and YouTube channels, which you should totally subscribe to. Luckily, you're already here. It's just one click. You're basically there. My name is Charlie, and today I'm going to take a look at this, which is the Burn book. So it is Mean Girls themed, and it is from Big Potato Games. This looks to be pretty good fun, so I thought we would open it up, see what's inside, and see what you think to it. Now, I shan't take too long with this. Am I a Mean Girls fan? I'm going to tell you that I grew up in the perfect age for Mean Girls and that it was a sort of sleepover requirement, and I'm fully in love with the Mean Girls musical, of which I can only see a certain amount. So, yes, I like Mean Girls. Now, this is I believe, a reskin of a Dan and Phil game. So using the same sort of components and the same mechanics, but now with a Mean Girls theme. Now, this is a party game that is based on the Burn book, which you may know from Mean Girls. If you don't, it's basically where you write horrible things about other people and then keep it as like a record that that's the case. And then we've got a little bit of blurb on the back that links and is themed to Mean Girls, which is quite nice. There's an option to scan to see the game in action, which is something I think Big Potato do quite well in sort of demystifying instructions, but we shan't check that now. We're just going to see what's inside. And for your own reference, it is for ages 14 plus. It is for 4 to 8 players. And how long it takes? Well, it doesn't mention it, so I don't know, let's be honest. Right, so how does this come out? Okay, so this is a sleeve for the main book itself. I like that the box presents as the book. It is exactly the same, bar having the Mean Girls party on the front. So that's quite straightforward. And then if we open this one up, she says, unable to open a box. One job in an unboxing is to unbox. And we begin with the rules. Oh, these have moved a little bit. Oh, these have moved a lot. Oh dear. Okay, we'll come to that in a second. So, the rules are as short as this. Look, how easy is that? You've got setup for how many people, writing in the Burn book. Look at the name on the page you were given. Now choose one question from the table and secretly write an answer about that person. And then there's a big reveal and winning. Now there are bits where a Big Potato have worked with other people or they have specific artists, specific franchises, but this feels like the first time we're seeing like it's a real movie tie-in. This is with people from, they'll have had to pay for the rights for this. It's an interesting choice. I'll be interested to see how it's considered in the wider group. Now, I've had a small disaster in terms of my packaging, whereby all of the cards have fallen out, which isn't ideal. This has been on my shelf for a while, and it looks like all they've done is just slipped their little paper holdings. I do try and tend to keep them in these, where I can keep them, where I can return them, because I really like that they do their I used to be plastic thing, so they have a paper wrap around them rather than a plastic seal, and Big Potato do quite a lot in the way of trying to reduce their plastic regardless. What that means is we just get more sort of cardboard or paper or biodegradable products, which is marvellous. So inside we have multiple questions. These are what you're going to be answering about the person whose page you have. So if the police search their house, what would they find? If you could describe their exes in one word, what would it be? And the like. So they're all questions about that person specifically. What that means is only play this in a group you feel comfortable with. I could say frankly horrendous things about my friends and they'd know I was joking. I could bring up hilarious things from 10, 15, 20 years ago that would be amazing to talk about and to have a giggle with. But it does, this has a potential to get out of hand. So just make sure you know who you're playing with and you're comfortable with your limits on this. But what you'll then do is fill in your own Burn book. So these will have a name at the top. And then based on where the questions are placed, because we also have these, it's on the board, look, we have those. Where the questions are placed, you'll then fill in the answer on those. So what you believe it is for the person whose name you have at the top. Nice and easy. And then once you've done that, you pass it to the person on your left and they will fill in another question about that person. So instead it might be random. What was their nickname at school? Does it have to be true? Absolutely not. That's half the fun. What do they wear on Wednesdays is the question that I've just seen at the bottom. If it's not pink, absolutely out. So it's got a good chance to offer a good giggle, especially it reminds me of sort of, I don't know if this is a shared experience, I'll believe that it is, so I'll share it. When playing things like Jackbox and you play things like Quiplash, where it's very quickly turns to things that you can do to make fun of your friends, this is that vibe, and it has a really nice way of doing so with questions that have the opportunity to be realistic or quite funny or quite jovial. Obviously with a Mean Girls theme, it does encourage you to be a little bit meaner, a funny mean and not a mean, but it's up to you to sort of set that. And also because you will be judging the best answer that was given on your sheet, because once it's circled round everybody, you get your own one back with your own name at the top. You'll judge the funniest answer. People will tailor it to you eventually, so we'll know that a more literal answer is sometimes better for them, a certain joke is better for them, or a certain style is better for them. You'll tailor that as you go anyway, so but just be conversational. Treat it good. Of course, then the one with the most points wins, which is beautifully straightforward. It is a mechanic that has worked for years. Why stop now? The only other thing that is in the box that I would like to talk about is their stickers. They have a sticker for everyone and it is rethemed for each one. This is potentially my favourite one. How absolutely delightful. Keep hold of your scores on here, play as much as you like, and I just think it's delightful. I think it's a cute, quick party game that you can explain in a couple of minutes. Basically, answer some questions, write them on a bit of paper, pass it to someone else, let them write about that person as well. That's all you need to know, and that's all there really is to it. Very few components, very quick to get started, and very easy to understand, with a nice Mean Girls twist to be able to explain and to be able to tempt someone into it from down off the shelf. It might be much harder for me to convince them into a full-on war game, but for a Mean Girls game, I've at least got their attention. Now this would work quite well in something like a girls' night. I may take it along to a hen do that I'm going to. It should just be a bit of a good laugh and a nice way to play a game. If you have any thoughts on this, I would love to hear them. What have been your best answers? Did you like the original game? Are you a Mean Girls fan? Have you seen the Mean Girls musical? Tell me everything. I would love to hear from you. But without further ado, make sure you check out our other Big Potato Games videos, because I like Big Potato Games and we see some of their stuff coming up quite often. We've got videos on snakes, for example. We've got nice buns. We've got well, of course we've got nice buns. We have various other games that you're going to want to check out of theirs to see what you think. I will pop them in the description so you can see. And in future we'll be looking at doing a Big Potato Games roundup. So keep eyes peeled for that. Let me know what you'd like to see in the description if you have any video requests. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.